Good morning, my friends. Hello, hello, hello. Mandy did not get to do a sound check this morning because she has such a raging hangover she could barely even manage. So is that true, Cameron Mandy? Say hello to everyone.
Hi. I don't have a raging hangover.
This is what she says, but she's you should see.
Oh
yes.
my goodness. The reason we didn't get an audio check is because Alphinius just put his shirt on.
What?
A minute ago.
It's a little snowy here in Colorado, which we are thankful for, yes, because it's dropping snow on these fires, yes, which is marvelous.
Oh yeah, I know. 2021 did it kind of end with a bummer for a lot of our community here in Colorado.
Yes.
And then obviously Betty White. It was a bit of a morale killer. So.
And who does not love? It's very few people who do not love Betty White.
I know. We were talking we just talked after our last episode, and we were like, Betty White is like the only person who's uncontroversial, and we just love her. So
she's amazing. Wonderful. Rest in peace, dear.
Absolutely. But listen, we are going to have a great 2022. And
oh yes.
we're going to talk a lot about our goals for this year and what we're doing with Gooey Cube this year, and. Ben says only his shirt. Yeah. He already had pants on.
I won't stand up. That's what I won't do right now. Yes, you don't want to see my little heart boxers.
Oh my gosh. No.
My friends, no, seriously, it is marvelous to be with you this morning, and it's 2022, and we are very excited here for all the things that have been happening and all of the things that are occurring, and the new stuff that we are doing, and all of the materials that we have produced. And there's a wonderful group. I'm going to talk about more about Darken Haven, but there's a wonderful group headed up by Jens, who's been working diligently on Darken Haven, and this city is coming together unbelievably well. You'll have seen that stuff. Anyway, we'll talk more about that in a little bit, but there's just so many people who have never had a chance to really have their ideas put out there for others to enjoy. And I waxed poetically about this East Verdestia book because it was more extensively helped by our friends than the West Verdestia book, and it is a wonderful tome. And I know that a number of you have gotten it. It's been the digitals have dropped, and I've gotten a lot of wonderful feedback. I hope you've had a chance to look at it. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So anyway, Camera Mandy, what's our plan today?
Okay, before we go anywhere, I have to say that the chat has come up with a brilliant idea.
Tell me.
Gooey Cube boxers.
Nice.
Because you said boxers with hearts on it, and Pam goes, they're clearly gonna be Gooey Cubes on
Pam, you don't
the
want to
boxer.
wear boxers though. Don't we have to give you those cute little things with like one little Gooey Cube somewhere, like on the band or something like that, right? Nobody wants to wear boxers. They're not cute. They're just goofy.
I think you just don't understand what we're going with here. They're adorable. The idea of Gooey Cube boxers.
Gooey Cubes, what, little cubes all over and stuff like that? Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
And then should it say got goo on it or something
like
that?
Exactly.
Oh, yes. No,
oh my gosh.
Yes, we are big,
never mind.
right?
I changed it. I changed my mind.
Nationwide.
It's already gone wrong. Sorry, guys. This is
something
our New Year's
gooey
Day.
This way comes.
This is our New Year's Day show. No. Everyone wants the Gooey Cube boxers or the Gooey Cube shorts, whatever we want to do. A onesie.
A onesie, yes.
Someone who is in clothes production. We got to make this happen.
All right. This is something we can definitely. So here's the thing. Yes. What we are going to, we're not going to finish the old droid territory today. Cameron, Mandy, and I talked about this. It was just going to take, with all the other stuff that we want to do to talk about 2022 and all the things that are coming up, and some shout outs that we want to do, and some things we want to cover off on, and the naming contest of these little Underdelvians, and all of this stuff we want to do, we were just going to take it too long. So we're going to finish the old droid next week. So I apologize to anyone who's tuning in to really want to see that, because it is cool. I totally admit it. But I think you're going to really enjoy these topics this morning that we're going to cover off on. So stay with us and see what we got to say about 2022. That's the first thing. So we can do a little. What are we going to do first? Can we do a little social media?
Oh yeah, we could actually. Can we start with East Verdestia?
Whatever you would prefer.
I want to start with East Verdestia. So let me get this all. Guys, I have not touched this program since the last time we did it. I did not have I just enjoyed my holiday.
Raging hangover.
Hey, Hey. So here we go. Okay, listen, this is so exciting. The digital downloads for East Verdestia dropped. And I want to go through some of the things that Alphinius posted. You've already seen these, but I just want to talk about them.
Well, look, can I say one thing before
go ahead.
do, Camera Mendy? So, my friends, I hope that you all appreciate this craziness that we are doing, right? Because we promised that both West and East Verdestia would be 250 pages in the Kickstarter. And West Verdestia is 350 pages, and East Verdestia is 400 pages. Now, I don't know very many people who do that in Kickstarters where they make something and then it ends up being, a time and a half or almost nearly twice as big. So that is our goal, right? Is not to just fulfill stuff, but to make things that are amazing. And I cannot tell you how hard it was, East Verdestia. It was a tremendous amount of work on not just my part, but a number of other folks. And it really is a wonderful achievement, and it's got great lore, and it's got Easter eggs in there. Some of you, we're going to talk about this in a little bit, about the Lunaire Hadreen, which are the moon elves, which no one has ever heard of before. So there's all kinds of little things that are going on in there, and wonderful tales that I think you will enjoy just reading about, not just planning for your games, but also just sitting and enjoying the read. So anyway, Camera Mendy, let's go. We can show some pictures.
Okay, yeah. So this.
You had to show that one first.
I'm sorry. This is the not safe for work, and yet I'm at work right now.
That trigger thing, right?
I know. I'm sorry. I should have given you guys the warning. The very violent art, but I think that everyone agreed in the thing that it wasn't so very bad.
We did. We got very good feedback about showing this. So the wonderful thing about East Verdestia is that in the Encyclopedia Zyathé Volume 1, which just covers the world, right? We talked about the Thule. Just a little bit, the Thule being created and what they came from. And then we touched on them just lightly in West Verdestia. But in East Verdestia, you begin to learn about these terrible individuals, these creations of the Lords of Corruption. And there is more to come on them. But this lore of these Thule and what we are planning for them, our goal is to make them one of the most scariest groups in all of the D&D verse, if you want. It's not D&D, but the 5th edition verse, right? And we are excited about the Thule and what they have in store, or could have in store for your players. So there's some wonderful imagery here, obviously, but there's also some great words that I think you're going to truly enjoy.
Can I ask you a question about this?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so I know with West Verdestia, you don't have to read the whole book if you don't,
no.
because there's it's all sectioned out. So if you want to go to a different section of the world, you can just flip to that part of the book. Yes. What do you absolutely recommend people read in West and East Verdestia to get you started, and then take you through the territories?
Well, obviously the beginning, right? You want to get a little feel for the place. There's a wonderful prologue that covers all of the areas in about 3 pages in terms of just a short little shrift of them and all that kind of stuff. And then you need to understand that there's the two nations that are sort of the good guys, if you will. Although there's some real discussion around the Vendraxian barbarians and the wastes up there that in the tundra about them in terms of their opposition to the Nordrukan warlords, their opposition to the Valandians and to the Erelthadreen Empire, which is the High Elven folk. So I know I went fast on there. I should probably explain all that stuff. But anyway.
The book explains it. Go open your digital download of the book.
there is Vanzentia and there is Donvan. And they are sort of the good guys. They've been in opposition for a long time, but now they are sort of coming together because Valandia is so aggressively going forward with their expansionist policies, right? They have actually invaded the Adjvendun archipelago. And there's just so much to explore. I would start, I think, absolutely do the opening, read about the forests, read about the Faerie, and then you can pick sort of, what place you want to start exploring first. I might start with Valandia, honestly, because they are the big baddies of this entire continent, right? And I've got to give a lot of credit to dear Josh and Kaya, who really helped make this Valandian Empire fantastic. So I'll probably start there. So that's actually where we got a page right there, which has an opening essay from Daniela Fogrum, who is part of the movement called the Hindrance, which is running against the Valandians. So there's all this marvelous tension and interesting things, right? Go ahead, cameraman. We can go forward. This is Rimthravak, which is the next one that's coming up, I think.
This one?
Oh, no, I thought you were going to the
Sorry,
one.
I'm all over the place. Yeah. The one I started was the last one on the slideshow.
This is very interesting. So this is a place called Tinkerton's Folly. And Tinkerton's Folly
is an excellent name.
Yes, well, you got to give a little credit to Keith for this.
Who? Keith.
So Keith Garrigan did this.
Wait,
and
brought
us pious. No,
that's not Keith.
Keith
I'm sorry.
Dusheki. That is Keith, but it's not the same Keith.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So why don't you stay with where you were? Stop missing. See, raging hangover, right? Not prepared, falling apart right now. Just
I'm sorry, y'all.
So this is Tinkerton's Folly, and Tinkerton's Folly actually brings a little bit about the Inzandra Oz into East Verdestia, and some very interesting thoughts around technic artificetry. And so we talk about Pious Tinkerton, but the Heart Foxes are also mentioned here. There's wonderful Easter eggs within the little aspects of Tinkerton's Folly. And Keith, you did great, and I was glad to add a little bit of my own little spice to your wonderful idea. So this is cool. So what are you going to do next, cameraman? You surprised me.
I'm going to go to the other Keith.
So
Keith 2.
So this is Graezon Lador, and Graezon Lador was the first character that anyone did in our world of themselves as a Sarth. And Graezon is a freedom fighter, an adventurer, and has dedicated his life to the destruction of the Valandians. And so Graezon is involved in trying to help people who are blood-touched escape the Valandian Empire. That's a whole nother tale as to why they disappear there. That's an interesting read you will enjoy, right? And Keith and AJ helped us so much with this section, and also Jim Kenny stepped in there and did a lot of real excellent work. And this wonderful Adjvindun archipelago, which is what I speak, has been invaded by the Valandians. And Captain Catway is down there, and there is all this tension and all of this stuff going on, and there's some really interesting islands and some wonderful places for you to visit. And this is very colonial, piratey, buccaneer kind of thing going on, versus the Blue Shines, which is more Caribbean, but not so tenuous, because there's not so much colonialism that's gone on, and certainly not the invading of the Valandians. But there's a marvelous essay here from Graezon, which says, "May the Valandians be swallowed by the sea," and it's a good little work, which will give you wonderful tales about this marvelous locality. Skaltalion. So the Estenasans, which are the lizard folk, who live south of Valandia in this great Algidian territory, this enormous swamp, which is called Estenasa. They have, for the most part, been subjugated by the Valandians. And the Valandians are doing very vile things there with corruption magic, right? Cruxic sorcery, this is what we call it, right? They are doing really creepy and scary things there with all kinds of stuff. And this was Matt and Daniel who really drove this and wrote most of this with a little help from a couple of other folks and a little bit of help from yours truly. And it is really, really wonderful. The swamp has got a lot going on, and I wish we'd had another 100 pages, because I would love to have added another 10 or 12 pages at least to Estenasa, but it is good already, and you will enjoy it very, very much. And you will enjoy the tale of the Farah and what is going on with the second Farah and the sort of uprising that's coming in within the Algidians who reside in Estenasa, because not all of them appreciate what is going on with the Valandians. Marvelous. Oh yes, this is the bard. What is her name? I forget her name. Tell me her name. She is.
I can't read it on the.
Oh goodness gracious! Well, sorry. This is one of the famed bards, right? And she travels Vanzentia and Donvin, and there's some wonderful tales about Vanzentia and about Donvin in here, which speak to, I think, what you're going to love about Donvin is this wonderful focus on trade and commerce and how intense they are. And in fact, they have a king and they have a queen. But they are truly not ruled by the king and the queen. They are truly ruled by an individual named the Port Master. Yes, and this was the creation of our Marvelous Kendrick, who has helped us so much with this beginning, and then I helped him with that, and Donvin is really, really marvelous, and there are some wonderful places and tales to tell.
Is Jilly Bean her name? No? Okay.
I don't think so.
Silas Lord Twist, you have fooled me. You have fooled me good.
No, somebody open up your file and tell us. So come on, now, let's get it done. But anyway,
Silas Lord Twist says her very convincingly. Just put it in there. Her name's Jilly Bean.
No, it's not. It's not. Believe me. That would never have made it through editing.
James
So anyway.
is on it. He's trying to get her
Thank
name
you,
for us.
James.
And if everyone's just, I was making a joke, Billie Jean.
It's funny. Anyway, so then you'll go to, so the Donvinians are really big in commerce. They're a very strong nation because of trade and this whole thing. They even have these ministries, right, which cover all of these different things. And they have a ministry of what is called favors, because favors can actually be traded as commerce. Wonderful little idea and a wonderful way we've taken this thing forward. I think you're going to really enjoy how Donvan works, the machinations of it, right? And they are a little bit stressed because of their proximity to the Vindraxian wastes and the barbarian tribes there that invade. But they are also, in past, for quite a number of centuries, have been up against the Vanzentians. But now they are seriously considering that perhaps they need to really make peace and work together because the Valandians, the vile Valandians, may they be swallowed by the sea, right, are threatening. We shall see what happens there, for it is a tale still in the telling. So Vanzentia, right, which is south of Donvan, which we've actually been talking about as we've talked about the Bogshore Road, they are an interesting locality because their philosophy, even though they are not dwarven, their philosophy is based sort of in this meritocracy and dwarven ways. And so it is a fascinating tale that you will find out about how the king under the ground saved so many people during the Woe of Ruin and how they then emerged to make this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful nation called Vanzentia, which Corey was so big in making happen. Aha! How am I doing, Cameraman D?
Great. We have one last one from East Verdestia, and then y'all are just going to have
You missed the one in the middle, the big castle.
Oh, I did. Okay, we have two more. Sorry.
So this is actually this is where we were speaking of Van. So this is a marvelous little thing because we've got in the image we have 4 of our wonderful people who are characters in the world of Zyathé. So on the left you have Matthias Redthorn, who is a scribe and a traveler, and you'll read an essay from Matthias in the Estenasa section, right? Next to him is Tiak Brystone, who is a traveler, who you'll read an essay from at the beginning, talking about the forests of East Verdestia. And then next to him is his partner, Falcon. Yes, and she is a Fairy, right? Is that not marvelous? Like, look at, he's got his hand on his shoulder. He's like, baby, don't kill Matthias. I don't know why they're looking at him that way. And then on the far side is Thelik, which is Daniel's character. So we have brought these characters here, and they are at a place called Bleakwater Station, which we have spoken of in the tour last time. And so this is a marvelous little thing that's going on here, and a little tale that is happening on Bogshore Road.
And we have some new people in the chat.
Marvelous. Hello, friends. Welcome.
Yes. So I just want to clarify, when he says we have these people, those are people who are part of our community, like in real life, who have had their characters put into the world of Zyathé. Yes.
So this is we are well over 100 folks, not including the Goo crew, because we've done portraits for the Goo crew. So we have more and more people, and I can't wait to show you, oh goodness, Kevin's portrait that we just did, and Jen's portrait of the first Unseelie Fairy that we just did.
I actually have that.
Oh, don't bring it up yet. Then we'll do it later.
Okay,
I didn't know you. Well done, Kimber. Mandy, even though you have a raging hangover, you were doing great right now. I'm proud of you. So anyway, I think when you go to East Verdestia, in terms of adventuring, pure adventuring, this Bogshore Road is amazing. Because it deals with the Uldroik. It's got both of the nations in between that are sort of striving, right? Even though they're trying to work together, there are groups that are trying to push back and stop them from being together, some of them funded by the Valandians. So all kinds of stuff going on. And then, of course, there's this marvelous Uldroik, right? Which is a corrupted area because of Amasthal, the last flying city of the Etherns that remains in the sky. Ah, yes. But that is a tale for another telling because I don't have a picture of that. So do the castle. Let's just show this. So this is...
Well, first we're going to go back here because we have our name. It's instead of Jilly Bean, which would be an adorable name,
It's cute.
Sunsanel Tanavra.
Sunsanel Tanafra. Right? She is a Sundestian, but she is half elven, so her heritage is both Sundestian and half elven, and she is marvelous, right? I love this image. I've loved it ever since I got it. It's just she's got such a, can you just see her, right, in one of these taverns, right? And she starts singing and she starts playing and everybody shuts up, right? It's just amazing, right? And they're kind of enthralled and listening, right? And, you know, some guy tries to seduce her, right? And she slams him to the floor. It's just marvelous, right?
And then some girl comes up and tries to seduce her and she's like, well, hello.
Yes, hello. All right, let's continue on, right?
Okay, I see. I was just waiting for the epic finale here.
So we did something in East Verdestia that I had started doing in West Verdestia, but I got scared because it was getting so long, right? But we did a number of artworks that are in spreads, and this is Rimtravak, which is the castle, the citadel of the 3 Valandian supreme consorts. And this is a scary place in Valandia. Yes, it is.
So this is like where like the Thule.
No. That is called the Thuulic
But
Enclave.
like these are the concerts, right? Like the.
Yes, the 3. Those are the 3 consorts right there. That is Televorn and Zoldothran and Vexnia.
Oh, I see. You see, I just don't know. I need to learn.
There is a Thuulic,
with the Thuhul.
There is a Thuulic advisor.
I gotcha.
And actually, so this kind of surprised Josh and Kaya a little bit when this image first came out, because they're like, where did that thing come from, right? And so, but if you are practicing Crooksic sorcery, it is very likely that you have had contact with the Thuul. Marvelous, yes. And there is mention for the first time of a Thuulic enclave. Very near the Infernic Caldera on the Sunderfang Peninsula. But that is a tale for another time.
Yes.
I hope you are enjoying this. Are you having fun?
I hope this gave you a good taste for the East Verdestia. You guys got to go open it up.
There's artworks all over the place, and we're just really excited for it. I think you're going to just find it wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so next up, we will show some other stuffs.
Yes, what is this? This looks like a pattern of the wall.
Oh, wait, hold on. Just talk for a second.
I will. Are we going to show the wonderful thing? When are we going to do that, which I received from all of the authors from the West Verdestia?
Do you want to do that right now?
Well, you'd have to grab it because
It's right behind you. I put it behind you.
Oh, you are amazing, cameraman. You are just like, even with your raging hangover. Yes.
Okay. I just want to be very clear. I don't have an actual hangover. Yeah.
Stretching. Oh, I got a stitch.
It's the most exercise he's had in like 6 months, thanks to East Verdestia.
I'm so tired.
Okay.
I need a break. Have we got any Gatorade? No, I want to say something here now. This is important. So what was it, a couple weeks ago? I'm sorry about the glare, but a couple weeks ago.
What? We have lights in the studio? I don't understand.
All right, there. How about that?
It's pretty
That's
close.
almost good, right?
Yes.
So I was surprised by marvelous camera Mandy, and I guess it was Michelle's idea, right? And
Casey.
And Casey's idea. And a bunch of folks got me on the Twitch stream for something that Mandy wouldn't tell me about. And I got this marvelous cover of West Verdestia, which is signed by all of the contributing authors.
And you'll see a blank spot right above it where Alphinius needs to sign.
I will do it.
Yes.
But it was incredibly touching, and I was truly, it was heartfelt. I was pretty blown away. That's the truth. And I cannot tell you, this journey has been hard at times and scary at times, and to have you as friends, and I really count you as friends, to have this group that is helping make something really special happen is incredibly special to me and to us. And we are very excited for 2022. But anyway, to all of you who participated in that, and to all of you who could not but send me messages afterwards, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and how much I appreciate all that we are doing together. I'm very excited because it keeps happening, right? And stuff keeps getting made. And I'm getting emails from people who in Europe who have received stuff, or in Canada who've received stuff, or here in the United States who have received stuff and saying, oh my gosh, I didn't know it was going to be this good, right? And so this is this is the goal, to make the greatest things ever made for this great game. And that's what we're going to keep doing. So much, much, much love. Thank you.
And speaking of great things that were made in front of you, we got a gift from Rob.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Marvelous Rob, who authored The Strangely Gooey Holiday, right here, sent me a autographed copy. And Rob, thank you. It is marvelous. I am probably going to have you redo this, though. I'm going to keep the plastic, but I'm just worried over time that the plastic will degrade. And so I'm probably going to, when I next see you, bring this with me, and I want you to sign the cover as well. So I appreciate you taking what I really considered my baby and making it special. People have now played it, more than a few, and we're getting some great reviews. So that is exciting. And by the way, speaking of reviews, since this is available on the website, if you have played it, would you please take a moment and maybe go on there and leave a little review for it on the Gooey Cube website to let people know how good it is. And it is, right, this is no little slouchy little quest. This is a good thick book there, right? Anyway, Rob, it is marvelous. Is that a picture of Rob there doing his thing?
No, that's me.
Oh, that's Camera Mandy. I'm sorry, I can't see Camera Mandy. It's too far away. I have a raging hangover.
This is me running my very first ever game.
What are you wearing a hat?
Yes, because it's a Christmas themed thing, and also I believe in hats. I believe in the power of hats. So
the power of hats.
Listen, I'm going to give my review right now.
All right, do it. Yes,
I'm a first-time GM, so this is my first time I've ever GM'd, and I GM'd a Gooey Cube thing, and it's something I never thought I would ever do. I was like, I'm a player. I like to play, and let everyone else do the hard work. I can tell you, and I know this is like coming from someone who works for Gooey Cube. So
Cameraman,
take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. I know, it's true. It is true. I do not lie. This made running a game so much fun. I equated it to, because I was like studying it the night before, and I was like, this is like studying for a test, like, in high school, it's like studying for a test the night before, but it's a test you can't really fail because you have the books in front of you and when you're actually doing it. And it was so much fun to run the game, and it's really well written. There's stuff in there for the GM that the GM is just going to crack up at. If you have not looked at the stats book, there is a stat block for Alphinius Goo.
Ah, yes. Powerful am I. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I did do like the sticky notes on the maps thing that Alphinius Goo has requested.
Fog of War.
Yes. Oh, and I agree. Like James says, it's 3 sessions. It's absolutely 3 sessions.
Yes.
I tried putting it in 2, and I ended up rushing through the second one a little bit, and it's still 3 anyways. So yeah, plan for at least 3 sessions. There's 3 parts of it, and anyway.
And don't hurt Goobert.
Yeah, I know. And when you tell your players that, they're going to immediately be like, who's Goobert? Who's Goobert? Anyway, I just want to say, like, if you are a player and you have ever thought about GMing, I can, like, attest. Now, this was just a side adventure. It's not the same as running a full adventure from Gooey Cube where there's significantly more material. This was very manageable for me to run. And I know that there's other side quests that Gooey Cube has produced, and I'm looking forward. I'm going to run Menace in the Mist as well.
Yeah, so, John did a great job with that. It's marvelous.
So
really, really wonderful. And I'm sorry, now I'm kind of worried this is feeling like a commercial. It was not meant to be, my friends. It's really meant to acquaint many people, because so many people got this with the Kickstarter, right? It is more to give that kind of information. So I apologize if this is feeling a little commercially. That was not our goal. But it really, Rob, truly, you did a great job with it. And I can tell you this, that we've already gotten feedback from Trudy in Grand Junction, who was the only retailer to carry this year, because we don't really do retail yet, but we're going to. This is a 2022 thing. She sold nearly 100 of them. And she's already getting feedback from people that they loved it. So this is wonderful. And Trudy, thank you for sort of plowing all this ground for us in the retail world. You are helping us in a lot of ways, and we are very, very appreciative of you.
Okay, sorry. And I did not want it to sound like a commercial. I just wanted to give you guys my honest feedback.
You should buy it. It's fantastic.
Listen,
just buy it right now.
It's true.
Buy it. Goodness gracious.
I know. Well, I mean, I'm kind of speaking, I know that a lot of our viewers here have already played it and they already know, some of them have run it. Some of them have only been players in it. Yes. I am just saying, if you've ever considered, I know that new GMs and older GMs really both, this is a great thing for both of them, because older GMs love the material and how in-depth it is, and they can really dive into it, and they're not having to create something from scratch.
And cuts your prep time, right?
Exactly.
Massively.
Yeah, and newer GMs, it's nice just to have it there, and so you don't have to think about stat blocks for monsters. Yes. So anyway, I'm sorry to, I didn't mean it to sound like a commercial. I was just really blown away by how much fun I had GMing. I never thought I would do it.
You did great, Cameraman. I have feedback. I have actually got feedback. Yes, it was.
Yeah, you got feedback because he knows all my players. So, listen. Okay, we almost got the hat on Alphinius.
It was close.
I was
worried about dropping the cake.
It was dropping down. Yes, I have a close-up of the cake too. Y'all have seen this. This cake is so cool that Allie made.
Yeah, so Allie made this, and everybody was frustrated because she brought it to me. It was my secret Santa gift, but I was supposed to cut it and have everybody at the office get a piece, but I was not having that. No, I was not.
That's right. I did not get to try this cake.
You can come to my house. There's still some small pieces left.
I'm going to come to your house for a small piece of Allie's cake. It would probably be worth it.
Yes,
it would probably be worth it.
Anyway, I wanted to save it because I've got 4 little grandy dudes, right? And these 4 little grandy dudes, I got a little grandy girl who she just came. She's just so tiny, but 4 little grandy dudes, and I knew that they would be very excited to cut this cake and be able to have pieces of it and all of that stuff. And since my 4 little grandy dudes are actually related to Allie, I figured she would understand. And I also told her I would make it up to her and I would pay for another cake for the people at the office. So I'm not being an ogre.
I just want to be very clear that it was only after I had offered to pay for the cake that Alphinius was like,
I would have paid for the cake.
I know. Hey, by the way, your beard looks great.
Oh, it's a little trimmed up.
I know.
Ms. Goo asked me to take an inch off. It was a Ms. Goo request.
It was a very fair request. It was getting kind of crazy. Okay, so on the subject of Gooey Cubes.
This is a fun little app that's out there.
Yes, David did this animation of a guy slipping into a Gooey Cube. I'm just gonna show the cake again, and then show the guy again. It's just 2 versions of the same. Anyway.
So yes, it's on the Facebook. We can't really. It's hard for us to play David's videos. They just don't work real well. But they're really
not yet. I'll get it figured out so we can actually play it. Yeah.
But really, really cool, David. Thank you.
Okay. So next up. Okay, this was so touching. So.
This is David Wells' friend Eric.
Yeah. So David Wells posted this, and he posted a beautiful story with it. I'm gonna zoom in on this art though, and so we were talking about how gooey people are part of this world. And David posted a beautiful story about his friend who has passed. And there are a number of people who are memorialized in the world of Zyathé. And I just think it is an absolutely beautiful.
Are you getting teary-eyed over there?
Yes, because
yes, it is marvelous.
To have a way to, I'm going to just start crying here, to combine your passion and passion of the people who are gone and let them live on in a piece of art is just really sweet. And I'm sorry, I am getting teary-eyed.
Well, this is marvelous, Eric. And originally, I will tell you straight up that I was trying to avoid too many air forces because air power is really overpowered in the world of these magical worlds because of distance ranges and all that kind of stuff. But because David brought us marvelous Eric, and Eric, this is what he really, David felt that this would really embody Eric would be this Griffin rider. And so because of that, I have reneged on my commitment that we would not have air forces, that it's going to be incredibly difficult to become a part of an air force. So everybody isn't flying around on Griffins, right? So this is, the goal is to not have, to try to make things more difficult rather than just making them easy all the time. So anyway, so yes, Darkenhaven has a small, very elite force of Griffin riders, and Eric is the leader of that. And so you will meet this marvelous character in Darkenhaven when we produce the box, and we're very excited about that. And Jens, you and I got a little work to do on this one. Thank you, my friend. And thank you, David, for bringing us Eric. And I know it was very meaningful to his family. I know it was meaningful to both his wife and his mother. I know that they have pictures that they framed, and this is, Eric is not the only one, and this is just one of the many things that I think makes what we're doing very special. It's a labor of love and a labor of passion, not just the thing about money. And so we're going to keep doing it best as we can. All right?
Absolutely.
Eric, To the Griffin Force. Yes, marvelous. Ha.
So we have another portrait. Sorry, I seriously teared up.
I know,
Okay,
sorry,
it was just really.
I was trying to talk a little extra long to give you a little.
It was a beautiful. It was a
compose.
really beautiful post.
It's worth a read, my friends.
Yes.
If you have not read it, it is worth a read on the Facebook.
Okay, so here's Jen as what we teased earlier, the Unseelie. So
the first Unseelie. So Jen is marvelous. She's been Gooey for such a long time, and Jen, we love you, dear, and thank you for everything that you have done, especially your funny posts and the things that you have done through the years to keep people laughing and smiling. But Jen did some writing for us, and she did not want money. She actually wanted to have a portrait done. So we got this marvelous picture from Jen, and she said, I really want to be an Unseelie fairy, and that would be our first one ever. And so Jen, this is the character here, and it is wonderful. Just a great,
fierce.
Just really fierce. As you can tell, she got game, right? It's just a wonderful, just intense kind of a feeling to this Unseelie fairy. And now we get one of the joys for me in doing all these characters is I get to work with each one of the folks who are doing this to actually sort of create these characters and sort of what their tale is and weave those into the world of Zyathé, so that all of these non-player characters that your players will experience are actually us. And I think that is amazing. So anyway, Jen, I know you love it. I'm glad you love it. I'm excited to tell this tale with you, my dear.
Absolutely. Okay, so next up.
Is this good? Everybody having a good time with this?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
this fun? Everybody enjoying this?
I think everyone's having a great time.
Good.
Everyone wants you to put on a hat.
We will maybe consider that for charity in the years to come.
Okay.
Ha
Next up, Harry's posted
Harry,
several.
yes.
However, I took several new miniatures. This one is really special.
So, yes, this is Elizabeth. Yes, so this is her. She is a second Sarth that we did, I believe, of a person, and she is a Fusilier.
And
which is incredible.
We have this in previous videos. The Fusils are just incredibly cool.
Oh yeah, wait, because Magica is coming. We'll talk about that in just a little bit.
Yes, and so anyways, I just want to take a second to show off.
Harry, really, my friend. You always had a game for this, but as I have watched, your progression, and this is as good as anything out there, because I've been looking at it, because I've been thinking about doing this printing thing, which, by the way, thank you all for your wonderful responses and the messages you sent me.
Context, Alphinius is looking at 3D printing.
Sorry, I apologize. Yes, I was looking at 3D printing. I'm thinking about doing this, right? Because there's so many wonderful things that are out there, right? Anyway, so Harry makes this wonderful miniature of Elizabeth and a Fusilier, which is wonderful. Do you happen to? You don't have a portrait. We'll have to show that maybe next week, but it is wonderful.
All right, next up, though, I have one more from Harry.
Grayson.
We saw Grayson. Actually, I can show Grayson again. Hold on.
Yes,
let me switch back really quickly, because.
So while she's doing that, I will tell you. So Grayson is really this is a wonderful tale that kind of grew in the telling, because Keith and I had lots of conversations after Grayson was created that he wanted to be somebody who was really doing good in the world, trying to do good in the world. And the Valandian thing sort of kept coming, and he kept talking about the blood touch that was disappearing and how it was bothering him and all of that stuff. And I said, bro, this is what you got to do, you need. And he was like, I need to do this, right? And so the next thing you know, Grayson and Captain Catway, AJ, right? Captain Catway is now, this sort of the catalyst of this resistance movement against the Valandians in the Adjvindun Archipelago. So what do you got for me, cameraman Dave? Did you pop it up there while I was talking?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So that was the portrait of Grayson, which was down in the bottom of the essay.
So you can kind of see how cool it is that Harry's able to adapt the characters.
Yeah, no, really, Harry. I tell you, I believe, people, I know how people freak out every time you take one of their portraits and turn it into a miniature. And anyway, that's another thing. Harry has uploaded all of his stuff. We are working diligently. We've got to do some fairly serious adjustments to our store to make this work the way we want it to work. But our goal is to have every one of Harry's miniatures available either in printed format or in STLs this first quarter. So we wanted to do it last quarter, but it was just too much with all the stuff we were trying to do to get out all of the materials that we were trying to push to get out by that mid-December, December 20th or so time frame. So.
Okay, last thing. Did you bring the deck of Perilous Fortuity?
I did.
Okay, so this is our, first off, I'm going to show this this picture of Casey, because I just thought this is so Casey with the beholder.
yes.
So I think Tanya made that for him, and as you said in the post, it's like gooey green.
Yeah.
It holds dice. And it's a beholder. So
yeah,
it's
he
perfect.
even had a second picture that he put up that was a close-up. Oh, you were going to talk about this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, more to the point, this is Casey and Tanya, and I don't know who
they're
else
friends.
is in the picture. Yeah, they're friends, playing...
Conundrus, Hand of the Hanatars.
With the deck. So
yes. So the deck, right? This is the deck, right? So
let me actually cut over to you. Just give me a second.
So we can show it a little bit. So the deck is actually 72. When you actually receive it, now I'm feeling like a damn commercial again, right? I'm not trying to be a commercial. I'm trying to, because everybody's getting this stuff, right?
We're just trying to show our stuff. Yeah.
Yes. So the deck is actually 72 cards, not the normal that you would expect of 54 that you receive. Now, some of the cards are like these. They have information on them, right? Which is designed to help you. You can join our social media and all that kind of stuff. And then there are 4 of these really cool special cards. The Assassin, the Bard.
Actually, can I do that again? I'm going to zoom in.
Yeah, do it.
So guys, I'm going to go very close in on his hands
Oh,
here.
goodness gracious. I hope I don't have any hangnails.
Ooh, it's your teeth.
I'm not, my teeth. I need to get a
I
white.
know.
I need to
Okay.
get a white
Now go.
All right. So this is the Bard. This is the Assassin. This is the Troll. And some of you might recognize him. And this is the Priestess. And we do not know at all what these cards are for. I have a few ideas, but we do not know yet because we had extra card space in here. And we felt like, why don't we add some fun little extras to the deck that people can play with? So those 4 extra cards do not play a role yet in any of the materials that we have produced, although Corey might have modified.
You have to, when you don't have a card up, you have to like...
Why? Because
your mouth is so distracting.
Sorry.
Here we go. Okay, now we're going to go zoom back in. Okay.
So each of the decks has jesters, right? So they're jesters. The Fool card.
Which he got in a beautiful printout for Christmas.
And then, of course, there are the Winds, which is one of the suits. And there are face cards for the Winds. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but there are face cards for the Winds, and they are the Ethereal people. And there are the Waves. And there are face cards for the Waves, which are the Maroon. And there are the Stones. And there are, of course, face cards for the Stones. Oh, goodness, I'm going to lose them all, Cameramendi, but it's okay. Let them fall. Let them fall. It does not matter to me. Which are the Gorundish folk. And then there are the Flames. And each one of the Flames, of course, there's a suit all the way to 10. And then there are the face cards. And the face cards for all of the suits are rogues is the lowest, then knights, then wizards, then crowns, and the top card in all of them is a dragon. And that is the deck of Perils Fortuity. Can't wait for you to find out about Conundrus, Hand of the Hanatars, Fools Down, and others that are coming. Perhaps you can even make a game. We'll talk about that in 2022. All right, Cameramendi, how'd I do?
That was a great transition to some of our other stuff.
All right.
We're talking about 2022 is our next thing. Okay. I am sorry, but your stuff is out of order a little bit. But let's first talk about these little guys.
So yes, so these are, we'll do this. This is perfect, Cameramendi, actually. So these are the Underdelvians, as we have called them, without really giving them a name. And they are right now the smallest race that we know of in Zyathé. And that doesn't mean that there are not more coming, but this is the smallest of the races. And they are from the Deeping Dark. They are far down in the lower areas of the Zayandun. So they are not found very often on the surface. But for those of you who have seen Strong Arm McGillen's Tavern, my friend, wonderful artist Igor, who did that, snuck one of them in. So these are the Underdelvians, and we are going to do a naming contest.
Well, not all of them want to stay underground. Some of them want to venture out.
Yeah, a few.
It's fine.
That's
yeah,
right. I got
it's
no problem
okay.
with that. I'm not saying
Not
this
everyone wants to just stay underground all the time.
They like it. That's what they
Some
live,
of them
right?
enjoy it, and some of them want a different life, and that is perfectly fine.
Well, of course. Come on. Come to the service. Anyway, Igor snuck them into Strong Arm McGillen's Tavern without telling me. But then when I saw them, I was like, okay, we'll leave them there. But you can see them. They are probably no more than about 2.5 feet tall, 2.5 to 3 feet tall. And so they're a little smaller than gnomes, and they are really wonderful. And this is a unique race to the world of Zyathé. We're working on mechanics for them and all of this kind of stuff as we work towards the Cyclopedia of the Races. But we really, I really like them, and I really wanted to create sort of a cute race, especially for younger folks to be able to play. But I have now, Camera Mandy talks about wanting to play. Okay, go ahead, Camera Mandy.
Some of us who are not that young also want to play cute races.
Yes,
and there is a number of us.
I don't disagree with that. I just said especially.
Are obsessed with these.
Yeah, I know that.
And we're very excited to get stats for them so we can start playing.
No, I hope you all love them.
And I'm looking at James because he's going to DM a game.
James and I actually talked about this yesterday.
Yes, a game just for those of us who want to play these characters, and we can go on little adventures, and it'll be adorable. Okay.
So anyway, so we're going to do a little naming contest. We'll send an email about it. We'll probably figure out how I need to get everybody back. We've all been off on vacation for a week. So need to get everybody back and sort of figure out the rules and how we're going to do it. And but I'd like to have somebody have a chance to name these from our community. And it'd be nice to give you something for winning that contest.
I think that if I were winning this contest, I would love a printout of like a nice long printout of like 5 of them.
Maybe we would do that. That'd be nice. Yeah, we can, and the Goo could sign it or something like that. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun.
Because this is something this art is some of my favorite art, and it's something I'd love to display in my.
Well, I just, the thing is, what I'm hoping is that all of this, this wonderful stuff that we are looking forward to, because there's so much we are still to do and so many things still to be revealed, and a lot of stuff, in my mind as well as some other people's minds here in the Goo Crew that we have not, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that in 2022, but bear with us here when we figure out the rules for this contest. But I hope you all love them. I think they're adorable. I think they are fun, and I think they're going to be tough. I think we're going to make them. They're going to have some game. They're going to, they're going to be able to offset their size with some, right? Be able to deal with what needs to be dealt with. Yes, this is marvelous.
We have a bunch of people, James, if you're watching, in the comments who want to play with us in this game. Just of this. So, anyway.
And speaking of James, right? James, the Misfits, they do a marvelous stream, and so does the Uncanny Pros, and so you don't need to go to that, cameraman. On the show. We'll do it at the end, right? And Roll Hit Die, and we've got Ben out there in Germany who's doing a stream, and we've got some new people coming on that I'll talk about in the future.
You can find all of the streams in our newsletter that goes out every Friday.
And we didn't do it this week because Eric was off, but we will make sure. Yeah, check out that newsletter. We're trying not to put too much commercial stuff in there and more just information for your value, and it's worth a peek. So what do you got for me, cameraman?
Okay, I think this is the last segment that we have. So listen, if you're in the Gooey Game Master's Den of Enlightenment, you might notice that Alphinius has a new addiction.
It's not an addiction.
It is an addiction. He is obsessed with making so many memes.
I think some of them are kind of funny.
Okay, no, they are kind of funny. Some of them.
Yeah, no, there's some that are not funny. I agree, but they're still good, right?
But yes, he has a new addiction to making memes. Listen, just laugh at them with a little reaction.
Or you can put a little, if you think I'm memeing too much, you can put a little angry face that will tell me, stop memeing.
So, no, don't do that. That'll hurt his feelings. I already texted him on the side. No.
So we showed this before. This is the marvelous sort of artwork that we have from the Verdestia dream, right? Which is the Wood Elven people. And we're excited to explore the elves because we're going to have a very new take on them in terms of not just who they are and how they are as a people, but also how you make a character, right? What does it mean to be a high elf, or what does it mean to be wood elf, and we're going to have traits and attributes and things like this that go with the race, that and even feats that they can gain over time, that are really much more realistic in terms of character creation. So that'll be in the Cyclopedia of the Races, that we hope will be a 2022 project. So we'll see about that.
All right. Next up.
Yes, the truth of the Feyari. So there's much been written. Marvelous Carey helped us so much with the creation of the lore of the Feyari, but there is more to come. And in particular, what was behind them? What are the wild hearts? And what is the sort of deeper lore about the Feyari? And yours truly has a few ideas that he's going to throw out there, and I'm sure that Carrie will want to weigh in, and a couple of other folks as well, as we carry forward with the Feyari in 2022.
Rob says you need a 12-step program.
12-step meme program. How flowstones work. So we are excited because the manuscript from Cyclopedia Magica, which quite a number of people purchased as an add-on in the Kickstarter, is coming very close to being done. And lots of artwork has already been completed for the book. So this will be our first foray into magic in the world of Zyathé. And we are excited to bring forth some of the unique aspects, interesting spells, magical character classes, including Fusiliers and Flowcasters. And so we'll see what folks think when we kind of pull this whole thing together. A number of folks have helped with this, and we're excited to bring it to you here very soon. Yes, the magic of fusils. That's what I just kind of spoke of, right? Is this idea of how are these going to work? Which is this is a wonderful thing because it's totally unique to Zyathé, right? It is our own take on firearms and how are they going to function. And we wanted to really not have black powder. We wanted to do something much more interesting. And I think based on the feedback that we've gotten, at least thus far, people are loving this. So we will see how you respond when Cyclopedia Magica comes forth.
Comment from Nushu42. Nushku42?
Nushku.
All those who meme are not lost.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. You touch my heart. Yes. So, yes, this is one of the great mysteries, right? Because even in the deck of Paris Fortuity, right, even here, we have the Sarth, right, representing the fire race. This is the thing. But as some of you know who've been around for a while, they aren't. At least that's what the tale is told, because this is why the Sarth are insensate to arcane magic. But there is another race coming when we explore Sundestia, and I am very excited for them. I think that there is much wonderful lore in our little Sundestia team. I'm going to kick them back up here pretty soon. We took a little bit of time off, and I'm excited for all that is going to come when we do Sundestia. Were you going to say something, Cameramandy? I saw you kind of begin to talk, or were you just trying to deal with your raging hangover?
I was just dealing with my raging non-hangover. Did not drink last night, folks. I just gamed really hard.
Really hard.
Yes.
So much that she got a really bad headache.
Yes.
Yes, Cyclopedia Monstrica. We did not quite make it in the Kickstarter, but we got close. But I'm hoping that we will bring Monstrica to the table here in 2022 for Verdestia, because our plan is to create a monster manual, if you will, a monster tome for each one of the continents that are in keeping with sort of the mythology and the feeling of that continent. So we're going to try to avoid having mythological creatures taken from perhaps South or Central American culture, or maybe Far Eastern culture, have them just showing up all over the place. We're going to try to have those feel more regional, which I think will give a much more realistic feel to your players when they visit those places, because they will find things that they have never fought before. They will encounter things they have never experienced before, and that's exciting, I think. Mm-hmm. Cameramandy's giving me the big nods. Yes, dark and fearful Nemesis. So this is actually Lord Wrath, and Lord Wrath is in the East Verdestia tome. But we plan to bring lots of really wonderful, terrifying, horrific things for your players to have to deal with as we continue in 2022. And Lord Roth is one of my creations, and I think you're going to enjoy this interesting personage who is willing to pretty much defy anyone. The Valandians, the Vincentians, no problem. So we'll see what we'll see. Oh goodness, we'll see what old Lord Roth has to say in your tables and your tales.
So from Harry, is the plan for some of the races to be more common on some continents and rare on others?
Indeed, Harry, that is exactly the plan. And that is because, again, culturally, we want people to come and experience not just, I don't know, it's so pseudo, maybe you call it pseudo-European mythology, right? We don't want to have a whole lot of pseudo-European mythology imported to Sundestia. Sundestia, we want to have it feel like, African and Egyptian and sort of Near Eastern, and you know how we mash all this stuff up anyway. It's not going to. It's going to be sort of inspired by that, right? And so we want people when they come there, we want them to experience that, and we want to experience the mythology that sort of is inspired from those cultures, and that gives it a much more interesting feel. So we don't want elves running all over the place, right, in every continent. We might have some elves in Sundestia, but they might be a little different than the elves of Verdestia. And so there's a lot of dancing that we're going to do that I think will make the world much more intriguing and enthralling when your players go to visit other places. You like that? I hope you do.
Rob says, Lord Roth needs cuddles. Lord Roth needs cookies.
Lord Roth is a Garund. You can see
Roth,
that. There's a little bit of that blue skin going on right there, right?
Lord Roth needs a hat that accentuates Lord Roth's inner beauty.
Doesn't this do it?
We all agree. Okay.
Rob, it's good to see you. I know you never get to attend because you're always working on Saturdays, but it's good to see you. So glad to have you here. Yes, Sundestia. I have been dreaming of Sundestia almost since the beginning of Gooey Cube, and I'm particularly fascinated with some of the African and Egyptian and these Near Eastern cultures and sort of how different they are, sort of than this sort of 15th century European stuff, which is most of what a lot of the 5th edition gaming is based on. And our goal is to really be true to culture, and we are very blessed with Gooey Cube to have a number of folks who have some background with this. In particular, our leader of it, who is Stefan, and he is very much an expert in sort of all of these this area and culture. And so we think Sundestia is going to be quite special, and we are excited to explore it. Hopefully, in this next year. Are folks enjoying this, cameraman? Is this good? People enjoying?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We thought a little preview of 2022 would be fun for you rather than doing Old Reuters today. So hopefully this is fun.
Especially because with this raging gaming hangover.
Yeah, raging hangover. So the Thule arise. We already talked a little bit about this because you get such a good taste of them in the West Verdestia book. But of course, if we do the Monstrica. They will, in the Encyclopedia of the Races, they will appear in both of those. We aren't sure yet that the Thule will actually be a playable race. I know some people's tables, they might want to have them a playable race. We aren't sure that we want to do that. We're going to dance around that a little bit as we talk about it in the year to come.
My question is, how would you even start? Like, if you wanted to level 1 Thule, that would seem very difficult because they seem very powerful.
They're tough. They're tough, but they have they have lobies and right, because this is the whole idea of Zyathé, right? Is that there are weak ghouls, ghouls as we call them. There are weak zombies, right?
Powerful goblins.
And there are powerful goblins, right? Mm-hmm. So the people expand, right? They get that weak and tough. So there are not as tough Thule, and there are tougher Thule, right? And that makes it more interesting, I think, rather than people just saying, oh, there's a Thule. I know it's a 3rd level monster, right? Easy for me to kill because I am 6th level, right? Well, they might find out differently in the world of Zyathé, right? So we are excited to explore the Thule because there was a goal to make them one of the best sort of antagonistic sort of groups that exist, and I think we are doing it. Wait till you read The Ritual of Devouring. I think that it will make you go, The Rite of Devouring. I think you will be like, oh my goodness gracious, these are fearful things. That is in the East Verdestia tome. Oh yes, so the Lunea Hadreen. So I had occasion to tell Chris yesterday, who asked me specifically about gray elves and sort of are there any other elves besides the three that are in the Encyclopedia Zyathé Volume 1. Well, when you read East Verdestia, you will read about a certain place. I'll let you have the fun of reading it, but there might be a mention of a group of elvish folk that refer to themselves as the Lunea Hadreen. So we will see what transpires, but this is a little taste of what might be coming in 2022 in regards to the elvish peoples.
Okay, this is our very last one.
Last one.
It is after 11. We have somehow managed to go over.
Oh. And I am convinced that more and more people, because I keep getting more and more people asking me, hey, listen, I want to bring a character, right? I am convinced that we are going to have lots and lots more fun and amazing, wonderful characters coming. Ben actually did a marvelous thing for some of his friends in Germany, and there are 3 really cool portraits coming of their characters. And of course, I mentioned Kevin's earlier, and there are more. There are more and more and more. So we are excited to bring these very interesting and really created with passion, right? This is not just, hey, let's make up a name and throw a guy on the wall, right, or a gal on the wall, right? This is created with passion, because these are characters that people really want to bring to you for your games. And of course, Lokbutt, right? Dude's name is Lokbutt.
Listen, I have read many emails where people were sending their artwork, or sorry, sending their character to the artists who do the artwork.
Yeah.
And the backstory and thought that they put into their characters.
I know.
And the things that they add, like for instance, Elle's portrait with the beautiful fox thing on her shoulders. She had a whole backstory for it. Yes. Or, Captain Catway, I think.
Captain Catway.
Yeah,
yes.
and
that tale grew in the telling.
I know. So all this to say, these characters are so well thought out. They are interesting to play. They're interesting to interact with.
I know.
And I'm struggling to find the words because of my gaming hangover.
Listen, here's the thing.
Yes.
What is wonderful about them is that they keep happening, right? So I got to work with Nick and Brittany and on a couple of characters that have yet to be revealed. We're excited to reveal them soon. They're just a lot of wonderful individuals that you are going to meet, and a lot of them are going to be in the Darkenhaven box and the Gloomport box. So we are excited for that, and we do try to make this as economical as possible. We pay the artists. We want really good artwork, and so we do pay the artists substantially. I don't want artwork that isn't really kind of, pretty high up there in terms of quality, and so we do pay the artists. But I think honestly, from my point of view, what a wonderful birthday gift! What a wonderful holiday season gift! If you celebrate Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or Christmas or Christmas or Festivus or whatever the rest of those are, these are wonderful things to do for people, because this is something that will make them, they'll live forever, right? Because I really believe in my heart of hearts, my friends, we are doing something really special, because it's not me doing it. It's not a few of us doing it. It's all of us doing it together, and making a world that is more rich and more special because of your touch. And that is amazing. I got nothing else.
And with that, I think that you just summed it up perfectly. That is our goal for 2022, is to keep making special. Special.
I wish you a most glorious year. We wish you a most glorious year. I will tell you this as an old guy. Sometimes it might seem that the day is dark. And I know some of you have reached out to me and we have talked about dark days. I have experienced dark days myself. I want to tell you that through the course of my life, almost every dark day did have a sunrise. And so I want you to live in that as we move into this 2022. Let us put on more brightness and not live so much in this darkness that we've had to deal with for the last 2 years. Let us have fun. Let us adventure together. Let us make friends. I cannot wait for Genghis Khan. I cannot wait for Gen Con and some of these other places where I'm going to see you and hang out with you and spend time with people who are, I consider great friends because we share a passion, right? This is the thing. So live in the positive and not the negative, and try to see the brightness of things, right? I had occasion to talk to one of our dear friends who was in an accident and was hurt. They were hurt. And you know what? It's awful that she is in this position. But it is also wonderful because it could have been much worse, much, much worse. And so I tend to look on the bright side of that because our dear friend is still going to be around with us and still good. And so let us live in those places as much as we can. Let us work together to continue to make Zyathé special. Enjoy your families, enjoy your loved ones, your friends. And may you have a blessed and wonderful and amazing and marvelous 2022. May all your adventures be sticky. Ha ha!